because we couldn't bill, we couldn't receive. So it's very much appreciated that we managed to survive the change without missing a beat.
Thank you.
Maureen would like to
She'd
say
like to
something,
sign
but
it.
she'd like to thank you all, but her dentist thanks you, and her oral surgeon thanks you.
I'll speak for Maureen. We've been here for 10 years together. I think I know what she was going to say.
And I haven't been here for 10 years, but I want to thank you for giving the students and everyone here the example of what teamwork is about. Because that's such an important thing, and while I'm new and I'm still getting to know and love you all, I appreciate all the work that you've done in streamlining the way we do our operations, and doing it without complaining is amazing in Massachusetts, so basically anywhere. So thank you very much for all your work.
Kyle, I would have thought that you figured out a way, but we didn't have to sign.
Right.
I have no problem doing it. You can call me anytime.
I just can't remember.
They've never had to harass me once, unless I'm out of state.
Well, I was really shocked when I got the first payroll, my own check, because for 15 years, Steve would always come down with a check in an envelope with my name on it and hand deliver it. And the first day, the first week of implementation, no envelope. And I thought, oh, this is great, I'm not getting paid.
Yeah, we took a
But
vote on that.
right, everything, so I have collected that envelope back, and Steve has held on to it for 15 years. And I do want to say, though, that to add to what everyone has said, in that what I see every day is just the real joy that, you know, each Maggie and Steve and Kathy have for their jobs and their work. And despite all that's going on and all the crazy things that are going on, they really, it's their smiles every day that brighten up not only the central office, but our schools. And so I really want to thank you for that, because that just shows how caring and committed you are to making our schools a great place. Thank you.
Now, would you all like to say how much you love us, or is that on the agenda here?
We have a direct dial to your house. Kathy's all set with that. Her whole phone is processed to just call you.
There was inside if you.
Yeah, so actually, I'll open one of these and read. We have one of these each for Steve Hartery, Maggie Riley Dalton, and Kathy Amaral. And what it says is, whoops. It says, North Reading Public Schools, North Reading, Massachusetts. The North Reading School Committee grants this award of appreciation to, and then it would be Steve or Kathy or Maggie, for outstanding performance, dedication, and commitment in the successful implementation of the Munis accounting system. Thank you.
Is it working well? I mean, is it?
Well, you know, it's, evidence is checks are going out.
And they're the right amount.
We have a long way to go.
Yeah.
We have a lot to learn, but, you know, we've also, a lot of credit also, there are folks at Town Hall who are deserving of credit as well.
Right.
Today, we wanted to, of course, honor our school department employees, but so far, so good, Jerry.
Great. So I'll just come over here and. Maggie. Steve, and of course I'll save the best for last. Kathy. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Kathy.
We need a picture moment.
Once, twice, three
Maureen?
times.
All right, I'm gonna take my glasses off.
We're gonna ask you to step over by the books. We're gonna take your picture.
Pictures.
Wow.
By the books.
Maybe by the bus.
I'm standing next to Kathy.
We're gonna hang in the conference.
I guess we'll.
Carl, it should be in there.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that right?
I don't know, you guys stand a little sideways.
Oh, it's so sideways.
Oh, no,
Oh, you're,
you turn that way. Steve's in the middle.
okay, I got you more trouble than.
All right. We'll do one more. Oh, I don't want this for me.
That's a full service superintendent. Superintendent taking pictures.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you a lot. Thank you very much.
Really,
Thank
thanks,
you.
Tom. Really, thank you.
Steve? Maggie? Kathy?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks. have two other issues for Carl to get into. One is the annual financial audit. I guess it's an audit, it's not a full audit, but it's an audit that we're following the correct procedures, et cetera. I'll let Carl explain.
Thank you. On an annual basis, an external auditor selected by the Board of Selectmen comes in to provide, I think it's called part of the single audit.
Right.
And it involves both an analysis of our policies and procedures as it relates to financial matters. Do we collect all the proper materials for all of our new hirees? Do we go out to bid when appropriate? Are we collecting proper certification for our vendors? It's a lot of things. And then probably most importantly is the end-of-year report completed according to COIL. And this audit report in front of you is as of June 30, 2008. So it's a fiscal year 2008 report. It takes about a year for them to subject us to their analysis and audit. I believe a year ago I may have said something to the effect that I never thought I would receive a perfect audit. Mostly because auditors don't give perfect marks generally, they find something. Yet, I'm pleased to state that as you can see, there are 20 procedures here and there are no findings. So this in fact is another perfect audit. The folks that just stepped out are an important part of this process because they do the bookkeeping. But this should provide assurance to the committee and to the general public that the school department in North Reading not only is performing its financial duties in an appropriate fashion, but it is also at the same time reporting information properly so that analyses can take place with the assurance that things are accurate. So I'm pleased that we once again have no findings. I'd be more than happy to discuss any of the procedures that are underway here. At this point, we're moving on to FY09 and FY10, and we will once again undergo this audit next year. But for now, FY08 is in the books.
Any questions for Carl? Comments? Good job again.
This is fantastic.
Thank you,
Am I allowed to say you rule?
Carl. You rule. Yes,
I don't know.
bring that young person.
I'm
Yes.
trying to do that,
Young
even though I'm
person's
in my
touch to
thirties.
the. Now,
Great.
The rest of us are dozing off.
yeah. Now, the last item, Carl, before you go, is the large capital projects. I believe, David, that I don't think there's going to be much money for these projects, but I believe at our last finance planning team, we were asked to put a list together so we could show what we actually believe we need to have done in terms of large cap projects. Carl?
Thank you. And you should be referring here to the large capital list that is dated in the upper right-hand corner, 7909. An amended version was provided to you
It says
today.
721. Oh.
Yeah, so the one that says 721
721,
is
okay.
dated, Mel.
Oh, okay, I got you. Oh, okay,
Okay.
I got you.
So, as you state, on an annual basis, whether we have funds or not, I still think it's important to take stock and to review our inventory of capital needs, whether they be hard goods, small goods, or equipment, because it's important that we take preventive maintenance where appropriate, or just know what's going on, and let the community know what we perceive to be large capital issues in the years ahead. So we do undertake this process annually. You'll see that we have gone out 4 years through FY13, and it's possible that it's not only possible, it's probable that many of the items in these cells will be moved even further back. Because, for example, just take the example of the boiler at the little school. The boiler at the little school is an original piece of equipment, and it is now beyond its expected life. So I think it's appropriate for us to do our best to maintain it, as we do. We have it rebuilt on an annual basis, by the way, But at the same time, I think it's important to put it out there as something that might be an issue in the years ahead, because it does have a finite life, regardless of the work that you do on it. So that's an example of what large capital is. In the FY09 approved column, you'll see two items. Those were the two items that were funded in the most recently completed fiscal year. As you know, a security program was underway, as well as an abatement, asbestos abatement project, which is undergoing as we speak at the little school. So that shows you a little bit of history. In FY10, understanding the fiscal situation, we do have, well, no, the FY10 items are the items that the school committee voted on in October. And we haven't changed them because this is your official vote. And technically in FY10, the school committee had taken a position on number 8, which was a pickup truck with the amount of $40,000. The school committee furthermore took a position on number 26, which was the repair of the broken seats in the high school auditorium, the amount of $100,000. And then the last two items were number 27, which was a renovation of an engineering lab at the high school, the amount of $200,000, and number 28, the renovation at the high school of the chemistry lab, in the amount of $225,000. Now, those never did go to town meeting, and so they just sit out there.
Can I ask a question
Yes.
on that? I think that we should, I don't know, it's not a minority report or whatever, but I think there should be some sort of statement, report made either by you or the superintendent at the town meeting that covers a lot of these items, because I don't think there's the awareness out there, because they never get brought up at town meeting. We talk about them here, we vote about them at our meetings, we vote on them up or down, and then people are not aware, and especially if you look at some of the things that are, you know, in FY 11, 12, and 13, you're talking about multi-million-dollar projects that may be necessary. And I do think at some point, people need to know about these potential projects, even if there isn't any money.
It's an excellent point. I think one of the strengths of the school department is its preventive maintenance. I truly do. As you walk down the corridor today to this meeting, if you notice, every single radiator is off.
Right.
We literally clean the radiators out and change the valves annually. And that's not something you see in most public buildings, I can tell you that. And I think it's that kind of work. They're changing this morning we were in the rain for some reason. They were changing the roof motors on the air filters and all throughout this building. You know, we change the belts and do that kind of thing regularly. And I think that has meant that our capital needs have been somewhat mitigated. But Mel, your point's well taken. You know, roofs, for example, don't last forever. And we have roof projects on here. Boilers don't last forever. And particularly at the middle and high school, in the absence of a building project on the near horizon, we're looking at increasingly expensive adaptations to the buildings. You know, whether it's water heaters, whether it's boilers, roofs, windows, whatever. Even before you get into the enhancements, you know, I'm talking about infrastructure items. So some of these expensive things are out there, and some of them can happen in a immediate. You know, you can lose a boiler. You don't always know. So that may be an important thing to do, is to publicize our needs better.
Questions?
I see that in fiscal year 11, we have $93 million on the, is there any way we can get the Hillview to do that? Is that a possibility?
You can ask.
The two
I
schools.
nominate you to that.
But Cal's right, I was just adding up, quickly going through, and there's over $5 million in real major projects for the high school alone over the next several years that are recommended here. And then I think almost as much for the middle school, if not more. So, you know, it shows the necessity for making some decisions here. Are we going to spend that kind of money, potentially $10 million, $15 million on repairs, or do we go to the next step and try to get a major either renovation or reconstruction project going? So,
Is the real question I have is, do we